It is Monday morning, September 29th, and we had a huge, massive week 4 for your fantasy football teams. We're going to discuss everything. Jackson Dart, Puka Nakua, Christian McCaffrey. We're going to discuss it all. So, guys, get your cold brew or your hot brew if you're a psychopath and get ready for the show because, guys, it's going to be a fun one. See you on the other side.
You're watching Cold Brews and Hot Takes, only on FantasyNow Plus.
That is right. My name is Josh Kimmel. This is Cold Brews and Hot Takes, and you are watching on the FantasyNow Plus YouTube channel. And you might also it's Monday morning, guys. It's been a long one already. A lot of injuries to go over real quick. But if you're watching on the Fins Talk Sports Network, I appreciate you. Come on over to FantasyNowPlus.com. I might need Justin right now. Come back to Fantasy Now Plus and check us out on the YouTube channel as well. You can check us out everywhere on Instagram, social media, Blue Sky, everywhere. I'm not there, but I'm at the Discord, chat.fantasynowplus.com. And make sure you check us out everywhere. I appreciate you all. But listen, we're here today because week 4 happened, and there's a lot of stuff that went down. Jackson Dart got his debut. People were going nuts. Shout out in the chat if you had the stones, the cojones, to play Jackson Dart, because I want to see those screenshots. If you played Jackson Dart in your quarterback one situation, your spot, maybe you were down Jaden Daniels, maybe you just wanted a boost for your fantasy football team, make sure you screenshot that matchup, if you won, of course, and hashtag FantasyNowPlus or tag us on Blue Sky so we can share those. I want to see who had the stones to do it, because I know I did. So I hope you did as well. Yes, it is National Coffee Day, Zach. I saw that as I logged on to the computer this morning. I made sure I got my subpar coffee from an undisclosed location. You can tell by the cup. It's very inferior coffee, but with these times, you got to do what you got to do, and that was the only place that wasn't busy, unfortunately. So, be that as it may, got to have start to start Dart. Yeah, I know, Justin. So, if you had Dart and you started them, please screenshot that, hashtag FantasyNowPlus. Jackson Dart had 13 completions for 20 attempts, 111 yards in the air, 10 rushing attempts, 54 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. I'm sure that was surprising to some people as the rushing attempts. Was not surprising to me at all. I'm very happy that this happened. But the big, I guess, news with this whole debut was his number one option, Malik Neighbors, went down with a knee injury. Right away, everybody was speculating what it could be. There hasn't been anything official yet, but the New York Giants are, I guess, it's the worst. They're pretty much expecting the worst, ACL. So, unfortunately, he may miss the rest of the season. Nothing's been confirmed yet that I saw. So, if you see that news, please let me know if it's been confirmed or not. Malik Neighbors out for the rest of the season, potentially with an ACL. More injuries that may have happened or did happen this weekend. Darnell Mooney left the game with a hamstring. Didn't need him. Falcons went bananas. Ricky Pearsall left the game with a knee injury. Miles Sanders with an ankle. If you were playing Miles Sanders, I'm sorry. And Lamar Jackson left the game in the third quarter with a hamstring. And I was watching this game on Red Zone, and he just left the game. He was upset. Scott Hansen didn't know what was going on. And I guess they informed us about a minute later that he left the game because of a hamstring, which is very, very ungood for fantasy football. So you lost one of the number one quarterbacks in the world, Lamar Jackson, and one of the number one receivers in the world, Malik Neighbors. Unfortunate, but you know what? We had a lot of scoring this weekend. A lot of scoring. So here is the best of the best. We are going to go to the cream of the crop, the players that showed out this week. We're going to go by them real quick because I mean, I could just give you guys the stats, but you could also do that if you go to any kind of website. But Dak Prescott was your quarterback one so far of the week in that 40-40 tie. Are the Green Bay Packers for real? We talk about all the time. Defenses, top 10 defenses. I'm going to use these stats when we talk about the Monday Night Football games tonight. Like, the Jets give up X amount of points to the running back position. The Green Bay Packers give up X amount. But we don't ever talk about the other side. We just think, oh, they have a defense. Oh, Pat Surtain's going to shut them down. Or, oh, but these people are going to stop this other team. We forget that the offensive players get paid too. Matter of fact, the offensive players get paid more. Why are we never concerned about that? We never go, oh, the Packers defense is in trouble. They got Dak coming to town. Dak's on a tear right now. Dak is unstoppable right now. Dak Prescott, 31 for 40, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1 rushing touchdown. He is your quarterback 1 right now. For now, we still have 4 quarterbacks to go tonight. Matthew Stafford was the quarterback 2, 27.4. He's the quarterback 12 on the year. He threw for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns. Good weeks to have Dobbs and a flex. In a league where I need help, Dobbs was one of my options. And I said, not doing it. And I went a different route. And I'm so regretting that decision. But be that as it may, I don't feel like putting Dobbs in my lineup is a good situation at any times. And boy, was I wrong. Yes, we're going to talk about A.D. Mitchell stole 11.5 points for Jonathan Taylor, and he stole 4 or 6 points from Daniel Jones, depending on if you play 4 or 6 passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback 3 on the season. I just want to say this. Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. Last year during our award show, he won the most consistent player award because that's what he is. He's a quarterback 3 right now. He had 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns yesterday. He only rushed for 5 yards, so be that as it may. He only had 2 incompletions on the day. He is the GOAT. He is the Hall of Famer. Listen, he's a high floor but high ceiling player. He's hitting that floor more often than not, but when he hits that ceiling, it hits for freaking 27.3 fantasy points, and you're winning fantasy football games. He is the most set it and forget it player in fantasy history. You don't have to worry about him. He's not going to give you 5.6 points. He's not going to give you 7.2 points. He's going to give you a nice baseline, and then these blow-up games of 27.3 fantasy points. He doesn't even have Rashee Rice back. But it did help having Xavier Worthy in the lineup. He is, unfortunately, the GOAT right now. Josh Allen, quarterback 1, 25.9 fantasy points, 16 for 22. He did have a rushing touchdown on the day. Good for him. Drake May, unstoppable. Quarterback 4 on the season, if you didn't know. He had his 3rd 20-point fantasy point game this week. Only threw the ball 17 times. Didn't need to do it a bunch. 14 for 17, 203, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. And the last quarterback on this 20-point list is Carson Wentz. Who would have thought Carson Wentz? Listen, this is every Vikings fan nightmare. They lost the game. Matter of fact, Carson Wentz, I'm not going to say Carson Wentz lost the game. That offensive line lost him the game. Carson Wentz is going to get a lot of heat today for no reason, because when you snap the ball and there's players already in the backfield within a half a second sacking you, it's not fair to Carson Wentz. It's not fair to J.J. McCarthy. It's not fair to these quarterbacks. He still went off 30 for 46, 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But again, when you're running for your life at every second of every day of every single snap, it's hard for you to produce great fantasy numbers on a week-in, week-out basis. He got Addison back. Addison had that one massive play down the sideline where he got ran down by a linebacker, which is concerning. It's very alarming. But it's nice to see Addison is back. Addison had 16-plus fantasy points for you if you did start him. Justin Jefferson, we know what he did. We'll talk about him in the receiver situation, but good things for Carson Wentz. They don't need to rush J.J. McCarthy back. Carson Wentz is going to be the starting quarterback for this team for the foreseeable future, possibly for the next 2 to 3 weeks, possibly longer if Carson Wentz keeps on playing how well he's playing. Again, they need to fix that offensive line. That offensive line looked horrendous in Ireland. They gave him 0 time. Jordan Mason couldn't get anything going. That's concerning. And I feel like J.J. McCarthy, when or if he does come back, if he plays behind that line, it's going to be a disastrous season for J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. Carson Wentz is perfect for this role. And this is, like I said, every single Vikings fan's nightmare. I know my friend, my buddy, Dirtbag Dave, said this from the beginning. He's afraid Carson Wentz is going to be good. He doesn't want Carson Wentz to be good as a Vikings fan. Well, he wants to win football games. He wants his team to win football games. But he also wants his number 1 draft pick, quarterback, franchise quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, to be the answer. Not Sam Darnold, not Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz comes out here looking like $1 billion in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's a J.J. McCarthy problem. Not a Minnesota Vikings problem. So we'll continue to monitor that as we go on. Man, that's a disastrous situation over here. Thoughts on Quentin Johnston? Yeah. We'll get to that guy. Gosh, cannot believe that. Running backs, cream of the crop. Ashton Jeanty finally went off. 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air. He only had 2 catches. We need to see that go up for Ashton Jeanty in a matchup of mine, personally. I know you guys don't care about my matchups. I was going against Derrick Henry, and Sleeper had me heavily unfavored because things. He had Derrick Henry, I had Ashton Jeanty, and all I could think about was, I'm scared, first off, because I'm going to lose this matchup. But why can't Ashton Jeanty be my Derrick Henry? Why can't his Derrick Henry fail? And it's exactly what happened. And I won the matchup. Ashton Jeanty just went off. This is what we wanted him to be. We just had to wait for this explosion to come. Not better days ahead for Ashton Jeanty, but more days ahead for Ashton Jeanty with his 33.5 performance. I'm going to get to all your comments in a second, guys. I promise. Just let me get done with these running backs. Kenneth Gainwell, if you were up early and you saw it, which I know a lot of you guys did not, trust me, because I'm in a lot of leagues and a lot of people started Jaylen Warren, which was a very, very late scratch. Guys, be an adult. Get up early. It's not even early. That game started at like 9:30 Eastern. Like, it's not that difficult. I'm not going to get into it. If you're sleeping past 9 o'clock on a Sunday, there's something wrong with you, not me. Kenneth Gainwell, 31.4 fantasy points. He had 99 yards. So if you're in a bonus league that gives you a points for 100 yards, if you get bonus points for 100 yards receiving or rushing, that crushed you. But he had 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, 35 yards. What a day for Kenneth Gainwell. Bijan Robinson doing Bijan Robinson things. And here's the big surprise of the week, which Mr. David Campbell sent out in a mass text. Some effing moron started Woody Marks against me, and I don't know what to do. That was the text. Well, if you listen to this channel and you listen to us, we've been telling you Woody Marks is a must-add. If you've just listened to anybody, Woody Marks is a must-add. 27.9 points, 69 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. The big thing, though, is the targets and the catches. 5 targets, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. It's just a matter of a fact that Nick Chubb isn't Nick Chubb anymore. And when they're down in games, they need not even down in games, just when they want to score fantasy football points, when they want to score touchdowns, put in the more explosive backs, put in the more explosive players. That's Woody Marks right now. He's going to be a league winner for you if this continues. If he's still on your waiver wire, put in a waiver claim now. I know Justin and Charlene will talk about that tomorrow on the waiver show at noon here on the Fantasy Now Plus. But yes, Woody Marks is someone you need to target and look for because, guys, you should have seen this coming. Nick Chubb is not Nick Chubb anymore, unfortunately. Woody Marks may be the future there, at least for this season. Amarian Hampton, back-to-back weeks of killing it. His second 20-point game, 128 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, 5 targets. Again, we want our running backs to get targets. 5 targets, 37 yards. Great job. In CMC, For those of you that had the stones to draft him where you were drafting him, congratulations. I wasn't doing it. Another running back 1 week. He is the running back 1 through 4 weeks. CMC is inevitable. It just ride it until the wheels fall off. Enjoy it now. Bucky Irvin finally went off 102 yards in the air in a loss to Philadelphia, 25.5 points. And James Cook, his 4th straight 20-point game. Only himself and CMC have done that. Next week, which one will not get the 20 points, or will they continue to keep on doing it? James Cook will not be stopped this season. And the biggest theme of today's show, waiting. We waited for Jackson Dart. We waited for Ashton Genty. We waited a little bit for Quinshon Judkins. He is the focal point of that offense. He will be the focal point of that offense. 12 carries, 82 yards, 4 targets, 4 catches, 33 yards. Judkins is the only thing going on in Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy is just a guy. David Njoku has been completely phased out of that offense. Fannin is cute. Harold Fannin's cute. He is. But he's not a super stud in fantasy-wise. Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco. At the end of the day, the only thing they have going is Mr. Quinshon Judkins. And if you drafted him in the 10th, 11th, 12th round and you believed in him, congratulations. If you were able to buy low on him in Dynasty, congratulations. Judkins is the future. He is the now. He's the best. He's great. I don't know what to say about him. Quinshon Judkins. Another player where I can't pronounce her name, honestly. Cap for Life says, I don't like fantasy football anymore. Listen, we're getting a lot of that, a lot of injuries, a lot of players underwhelming. That's why you need to stick around, Cap. As you know, Cap, come on, how long have you been with FantasyNow Plus or OUS? And we're there for you every single week telling you who to pick up, when to pick them up, when to stash a player. Tomorrow's show is going to be very busy with Justin and Charlene. So, Cap, you know where to tune into. You know where the best fantasy advice is. It's right here on FantasyNow Plus. All right, let me get to some of these comments. Right here. Let me go to the top. Thoughts on QJ for Dynasty? Man. So, Justin Herbert is not an old quarterback. He's not going anywhere. Harbaugh just got there. He's not going anywhere. Keenan Allen is probably in his last season. Lab McConkey is just a guy. For more Lab McConkey ranks, please go check out our Wednesday show last week where I just tore into Lad and put a reality check to the Dads for Lads fan club. For anyone that's into Lad McConkey, I tore your dreams apart, and I apologize, but it needed to be said. So Lad is just a guy. It proved it this week. Lad is just a guy. Shocking. Quentin Johnston's not just a guy. He kind of figured it out. Not all waiting. That's the theme of today's show. We waited for Quentin Johnston for so long. It's the 3rd season, and he's finally getting it right. He's not just making splash plays. He's not just out here going, one play and that's it. He's making he's getting targeted. He's getting involved in high pressure spots, 3rd downs where they need to score a touchdown. He's no longer just the deep threat. He's getting the intermediate throws, the deep throws, the 3rd down throws. He's everywhere in this offense. He led the team in targets this week. You know, you got Keenan Allen there, and then you have Lab McConkey there, but Quentin's the one getting 13 targets yesterday. Keenan's only getting 7. McConkey, 6. Quentin Johnston is going to be involved in this offense for a very long time, and I feel like we all swung and missed in the past couple of years on him. He just wasn't ready, or maybe the offense wasn't keyed towards him. Maybe, just maybe, a coaching staff went in there and said, here's what I have. Let me fix my offense around these players instead of this is my scheme and you're going to fit my scheme. And if you don't fit my scheme, well, then you're just going to suck and we're all going to suck. Good coordinators fix that. And I feel like they have a good coordinator over there. I feel like Quentin Johnson is, it hurts to say this, the future over there. Quentin Johnson is a definitely buy, but his price is probably way too high right now. Wait for a little dip. When that dip happens, then you could pounce because people will go, oh, see, I told you. QJ isn't the guy. He just had a couple hot starts. Wait till the dip because right now his value is to the moon, and you don't want to buy things when they're peak value. Right now, he's never been more valuable in his whole career. Not saying that he can't go up. That's a situation where he just keeps on skyrocketing, and then he's unbuyable. He's someone that you can't afford. It's up to you to when you want to wait. I'd wait for a dip if there will be a dip. I think there will be. All players dip. What else do we got here? I have QJ, Addison, Puka, Hampton, CMC, and Dynasty, and Alec waiting for Rashi. That's just a humble brag. Buddha bag edits, but I'm here for the humble brags. I've been guilty. I am guilty of them. Don't worry. You should see one of my leagues. It's ridiculous. I won't name it off. You guys will all just leave the stream. I traded Stevenson, J-Mo, Caleb, and Franklin for Tyreek and Ginty last week. I don't hate it, especially if it's only a one quarterback league because I like Caleb. Stevenson's going to fall off. J-Mo is streaky. Caleb's just a quarterback if it's a one quarterback league. And Franklin is, I had no beliefs in Franklin. Ginty, yes. I'm all for getting Ginty. What else do we got? I started game well in 2 weeks. Love hearing high praises for QJ after all that hate. Yep. Coaching staff, it's all about them, man. Addison did good this week. Yes, he did, but keep in mind, most of Addison's yards came off that busted coverage where nobody covered him, and he could not score. He got tackled by a linebacker. Oh, if he would have scored that, one more win for this guy. But now I got to wait tonight for Breece Hall to get me 2.6 fantasy points. I traded Steve. Okay, we already did that. What do you covered? I don't like fantasy. Yeah. I'm trading my whole team. I get that vibes. I'm trading my whole team. Yeah. Yes. I love it, Cap. I feel you there. I have some leagues where I just need to go. All right, let's go back to the cream of the crop. Where were my notes? You see when I get sidetracked, guys? You see when I get sidetracked? Wide receivers. Puka, don't need to talk about him. 15 targets a game. Puka is just Puka. He's unbelievable. He's never going to stop. Amon Ra, his third 20-point game. Again, he's not going to stop. Drake London back on the horse. 10 targets, 8 catches, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Everyone in this offense shined from Bajan to Kyle Pitts to Drake London to even Michael Penix. So it was good to see the Falcons get back on target. Drake London is now the wide receiver 18 on the season. We want to see that rise to get back up to that ADP value we drafted him at. And Quentin Johnson, we already talked about him, 23.8, his second 20-point game, led the entire team in targets. That's hard to do with Vlad, everyone's hero, and Keenan Allen. DK Metcalf had a great game in Ireland, 23.6 fantasy points. He had 5 targets, 5 catches, 126, 1 touchdown. JJ also had a monster game, but it all came in the first half. He had 9 catches for 99 yards. The announcer kept on saying 9 for 97, but the screen said 9 for 99. Whatever. Either way, he only had 1 catch in the second half for about 28 yards. We want to see more from Justin Jefferson. Unfortunate, but he still broke the 126-yard mark. Emeka Mbuka, set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Don't worry about Emeka Mbuka. 10 targets, 4 catches, 101, 1 touchdown. And Deebo Samuel rounds out the players who scored 20 points in fantasy. Woo, yeah, if Addison scored, it would have been a great week for Jordan Addison and for Carson Wentz. Dallas Goedert scored in the 2 weirdest plays I've ever seen in my life. I still can't figure out how or what happened when Dallas Goedert scored those touchdowns, but he is the tight end 1 right now, 19.7. He had 4 catches, 37 yards. Tyler Warren just is Tyler Warren. He's nonstop, one of the best tight ends that come out. He's up there with Laporta and Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. He needs to be on top of everyone's leaderboard next year as far as tight ends go. 5 catches, 70 yards. Needs to get in the end zone a little bit more often, though. Need to see that happen. And Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is back. That's it. Do you feel confident in starting Kyle Pitts? Because I do. He is 1,000% back. 5 catches, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 18 fantasy points. You love to see that. Is Kyle Pitts going to be able to revive his career with Michael Penix and become a top 10 fantasy tight end like we all thought he was going to be way back then? I think so. All right, here we go. Broly619 in the chat says, is it dirty to sit a defense if you're up by a few points and the other team has no one left to play? No. I'll tell you why. In my league, if anyone in your team scores 0 points or less, you get iced. What does that mean? Well, if you watch this show for a while, that means, you know what it means. You have to chug a Smirnoff Ice, film it, and post it into the league chat. The commissioner left in Jalen Warren in his lineup because he overslept. He got iced. This isn't for injuries. If injuries happen, you still get iced. If you're out and you start an out player, you get iced. I'm down by 2.6 in this league. I have Breece Hall and Jalen Waddle. If I was up by 0.1, I'm benching both of those players because those players will not be in my lineup. Therefore, I can't get iced if they score 0. So no, win by any means necessary, Broly. Take the win. Bench your defense. Get the win. Lock it in. Do not take any chances getting negative points. It's not worth it. Bench the defense. That's my situation. Now, if it was an offensive player like Jamar Chase you had tonight or Achane, play him because you need the points for. The odds of them getting negative points are not as greatly as your defense getting negative points. Bench them. And if they say something about it, tell them to, right? Got 2 words for them. Suck it. Let's go to the iced players. I'm losing in my game right now. However, I have Sutton and J.K. Dobbins. Can I win this? Well, we'll get to the Monday night preview in a second, but let me ask you, how many points are you down? And if you're watching this right now, let me know, how many points are you down tonight with 2 NFL games happening on Monday Night Football? What do you need to win? We are here to give you good vibes. Post it in the chat. How much do you need and what players do you have? Obese Monkey has Sutton and J.K. Dobbins. Not sure how much Obese Monkey is down by, but I'm hoping it's enough to get him the win. All right, these will be quick because I don't want to go on the negatives here, but gosh, man. Trevor Lawrence, 11.7 fantasy points. They won the game, which is great, but he's not producing for you right now. He's not startable for you right now. He's in the bottom half of the fantasy quarterbacks. So Trevor Lawrence, sorry, buddy, but you're not cutting it. I thought you'd be a lot better with Liam Cohen as your head coach. Daniel Jones, it's not his fault. 12.4 fantasy points. He only had -1 rushing yard. You want to see more from Daniel Jones. He had 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, threw for 262. So he didn't have a bad game. It's just A.D. Mitchell screwed it up. If A.D. Mitchell didn't celebrate and actually crossed the goal line and scored the touchdown, it'd be 4 or 6 more points for Daniel Jones. We'd be sitting here going, oh, look, he had 16.4 points. Oh, look, he had 18.4 points. Daniel Jones was good again. But no, A.D. Mitchell wants to be a fool and act like he's scoring a touchdown when he's on the 2-yard line like a fool, drops the ball like a fool, and causes them 6 points like a fool. And then Jonathan Taylor, a couple drives later, maybe the next drive, goes off this huge, massive run, 54 yards, I believe it was. Phenomenal. Hit the circle button, spin, juke, stiff, whatever he's got to do. A.D. Mitchell gets caught holding like a fool. I'm so mad about that. But hey, we all make mistakes. I'll probably make mistakes at my job today. But man, that is so crushing to see when your quarterback throws a long bomb to some no-name receiver and they screw it up when it should have been a touchdown. If you get bonuses for long touchdown passes and you start a Daniel Jones, you are livid. If you get bonuses for long rushing touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor, you are livid. A.D. Mitchell costs you 2 scoring plays for the Indianapolis Colts. 2. 2. Geno Smith, 12.8, 14 for 21, 117. He's hot and cold. He's up and down. Need to see more from Geno Smith. He's not really reliable. And then with the running backs real quick, Derrick Henry, 42 yards on the ground. They were down in this game. This game stunk. This game, the Ravens had no chance. This is the history of Derrick Henry. When they get behind, whether it be the Titans or the Ravens, he sits on the bench because he's not the pass-catching back. They were behind heavily in this game. Only 8 carries. Throw it away. It just stinks because he's fumbled in the first 3 games, and now we get a game like this for Derrick Henry. Are we getting worried? I am not worried just yet, but my eyebrows are raised a little bit, and I'm starting to think, is it time to move off of Derrick Henry? Is it now time? I never thought I'd say it, but we're here in 2025 before October, and I'm already thinking about cutting ways with Mr. Derrick Henry. Chuba Hubbard, 9.9, stunk, just stunk, man. Receivers, there's not a lot of bad ones this week, but A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, you guys know the deal. 9 targets for A.J. Brown. Just caught 2 of them for 7 yards or whatever that may be. That was awful. Devontae Smith, just 2 targets. We know the game right now with the Eagles. They were ahead early. The Buccaneers were playing catch-up. No need to give them the ball. But that's going to be the A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith life this year. They're borderline unstartable at this point. Borderline unstartable. Especially Devontae Smith. He's unstartable. A.J. Brown, he did get the targets. You did like to see that. But again, it's just hard. These aren't players that I want on my fantasy football team. They're not players of success. They're not consistent. And it's a week-to-week game. It's a week-to-week game, man. A.J. Brown can finish as a top 15 receiver, but if he scores 30 points 1 week and then a bunch of 3-point games and then 40 points the next week, you see what I'm saying? He's going to win you. He's going to lose you more games than he wins. Calvin Ridley, drop him. Throw him away. Calvin Ridley is absolutely useless. Cam Ward, I just saw the interview before the show started. Never seen a rookie talk like that in a press conference. Very, very disorientated, disgruntled locker room there in Tennessee. The coach needs to figure it out. When your star quarterback, when your star rookie quarterback's out here dropping 1,000 F-bombs in a press conference, your locker room's a mess. Your team's a mess. Your organization's a mess. That was embarrassing to me. I know some people were saying good for him, speaking up, yada. That was embarrassing. I don't want my quarterback speaking like that in front of the media. That's embarrassing. And that just shows you the level of where the Titans are at. A.J. Brown, or not A.J. Brown, used to play for the Titans. Calvin Ridley, get him out of here. 3 targets, 2 catches, 30 yards. Elick Manor had 7 targets. He's the Titan receiver I would prefer to have on my team. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about Cam Ward and his cussing rant in the media? I want to hear your comments below. Let me know what you think if you're watching this after the show. Chris Godwin came back and everybody, he's going to be full go. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do this. Meanwhile, I sat him every single way on my bench, and I hope you guys followed. 3 catches, 26 yards. He did have 10 targets, but I was not starting Chris Godwin the first game off of that injury. Keenan Allen, he finally showed his age. 7 targets, 5 catches, 37 yards. But that Giants defense was phenomenal, so can't really blame him there. In the tight ends, Brock Bowers, underwhelmed again. How many single-digit fantasy points is he going to score this year? Is the sophomore slump real? Is the injury hurting him that bad, or is it Geno Smith? David Njoku, drop him. Useless. 3 targets. Useless. And Jonnu Smith, useless. Hasn't had a double-digit game since week 1. Not getting targeted. Drop him. Useless. Can't start him. Cannot start him. As we go into the night brew, the Monday night games, 2. Stop it. Stop it with 2 Monday night games, bro. 1 is bad enough. The only positive of these 2 doubleheader Monday night games is 1 starts at 7. So that means I can at least watch 1 half of 1. Thank goodness, because the East Coast dads out here are livid. Just as mad as the Colts fans are about A.D. Mitchell, I am mad about this 10 p.m. start time, the Bengals and Broncos. Who's watching this game? What kind of sickos are you staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching some Broncos-Bengals game? It's ridiculous. But we do have games tonight, and there are actual fantasy players we need to pay attention to. It's garbage. 2 Monday Night Football games is garbage. Who likes this? Who asked for this? Who wants this? Who? I have an idea. If you want to do 2 Monday night games, if you want to do 2 Monday Night Football games, and you're going to punish the East Coast, you're literally punishing us. Nobody's staying up till 10 o'clock watching this game. No one's staying up till 1 a.m. to watch this game. Have it during the day. Have one game during the day. Punish the West Coasters. Put it at 5 o'clock. Put it at 4 o'clock. If we can't watch a game, neither can they. They can be at work while we have fun, and then when we're asleep, they can have fun. Make it fair for both sides. It's ridiculous. That's right. I'm that mad right now. I'm seriously upset about it. But I'm usually up till 2 a.m. anyway. Jamie, you're a sicko. Love you, but you're a sicko. Come on. It's not what we want. I got to be up at 5 a.m. I got kids to take to school. I can't just sit around here watching football, watching the tape, the all-22s. No, I got kids. And most of East Coast parents, moms and dads, have to get up at a decent time. Can't be staying up this late watching Jacob Browning versus Bo Nix. It's not realistic. It's stupid. But anyway, we do have the early game. Tua, if you rely on him, I hope you're not, 13.6 fantasy points per game. He's the quarterback 25 right now. Tua is almost unstartable. 2 years ago, he was on top of the world. Now we fast forward to 2025, and we just want him out of the organization. Time to move on to a new direction. He's just not getting it done. Someone who is getting it done for the Miami Dolphins, the only person to get it done for the Miami Dolphins, Devon Achane, he's averaging 19.6 fantasy points per game. The Jets give up 98 yards on the ground per game, but they only give up under 4 catches a game to running backs. Achane averages 6 catches a game. Second in the NFL. I believe only CMC is higher. Achane, his game is catching it. And if they don't allow him to catch the ball, I do feel like it's going to be a less productive game for Achane. But I don't think that's the case. Just like I said at the top, we look at the defense and we go, wow, they only allow this much. But we forget the offensive players get paid too. And they get paid a lot more than the defensive players in most cases. So they're supposed to produce. Just because you go, oh, they only allow 4 it shouldn't matter. The Jets should be going, oh, wow, they throw the ball to the running back this much. We got to try to stop him. Not, oh, man, we got to figure out a different way to do it. No. Achane gets paid to catch the ball and run the ball. I suspect him to be the heavily focal point of this offense tonight because Tyreek ain't doing it. Waddle's a joke. Achane is going to be your only hope tonight for the Miami Dolphins. Waddle has scored touchdowns in 2 straight games this week, but has yet to put together a top 12 a weekly finish in the top 12. Can't do it, won't do it. The volume isn't there. Tyreek has no touchdowns in the season. He has one 100-yard game. That was week 2 against the Patriots. But then again, Tyreek has been invisible. This offense is a joke. Point blank. If you're watching the Finstock Sports Network, I appreciate you. I love the Miami Dolphins just as much as you do. But I'm just calling it how I see it. This team's a joke. The only thing I'm excited for tonight is the uniforms. That's it. The Jets have given up 163 yards to the wide receiver position in the 3 games. They played the Buccaneers, the Bills, and the Steelers. Those are pretty good wide receivers. The Dolphins have good wide receivers too. It's just we don't know what's going on with them. We don't know. McDaniels thinks he's some kind of genius. This could be a whole different podcast. I'll save it for the guys at the Finstock Sports Network. I'm sure Bobby and all those guys tonight are going to be going on the pre-show, talking about it, Finstanza, So if you want more Dolphins talk, please watch the Finstock Sports Network tonight. Pretty sure they'll be live sometime before the game. Don't have the schedule in front of me right now. And if you're watching right now, yeah, give me a thumbs up. What are we doing? Thumbs down is cool too if you don't like it. All comments and all criticisms are welcome. It is what it is. Breece Hall on the other side is getting 59% of the snap share. He's only been a weekly running back 3, though, the last 2 weeks. Week 1 was phenomenal. Ever since that, weeks 2 and 3 has been disaster. Is it because of Justin Fields not being on the field? Is it because Justin Fields was so bad in week 2? I'm not sure. But Breece Hall does need to get things going against the Miami Dolphins. We saw last week James Cook average like 9.1 yards on the ground per carry, and then they stopped giving him the ball. Breece Hall can do that as well. Justin Fields can do that as well. I'm a big fan of Justin Fields and Breece Hall tonight. I think they're going to put on a show. So that being said, Justin Fields is posed for a big game tonight. The Miami Dolphins give up they don't give this up. The average quarterback passer rating versus Miami this year in 3 games is 128.9. That's right. Danny Dimes, Drake May, and Josh Allen. Those are the quarterbacks that played Miami. They average 128.9 passer rating against the Miami Dolphins. Justin Fields had a very good passer rating week 1. Week 2, his passer rating was 1.1, and he played the majority of that game before he left the game with a concussion. So it's give and take here. Is Justin Fields going to ball out against a very bad defense, or is Bustin' Fields going to be Bustin' Fields? It's going to be a very interesting game to watch, especially with Justin Fields throwing it to Garrett Wilson. I appreciate that, Jamie. Garrett Wilson, 3rd in targets since entering the league. I say this stat all the time because it's important for you to understand that. 3rd in targets since 2022. Only Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb have more targets than Mr. Garrett Wilson, who has 499. He has a 39% target share this season. The Jets are only throwing him the football. That's it. Even last week with Tyrod Taylor, the man had 29.7 fantasy points. Is that true? No, that's not true. That's not true. I apologize. Messed it up. He had 10 targets and was a top 15 receiver last week. Don't have that number in front of me. But here's what I want to say. The Jets only throw the ball 29.7 times a game. Bottom of the barrel in the NFL. Bottom of the barrel. So if you want Garrett Wilson to get this high volume play and to become a stud, they need to pick up the pace with the passing. A lot of that has to do with Tyrod Taylor last week. I understand that. But also a lot of it has to do with Justin Fields and them protecting him from himself. Wilson is the only of that draft class to get 1,000 yards in each season. Listen, Garrett Wilson's a super stud. I've been telling y'all he's a superstar, man. I've been telling y'all this since the beginning. He's a superstar. For the late game, nobody's going to watch. We'll go quick because, again, nobody's going to watch it except for the sickos like Jamie. Probably Chris. Pudge. Pudge will probably watch it. He's a sicko too. Bo Nix. If you want to watch more Pudge and myself, we are live every Friday night, by the way, 6:30 p.m. The IDP show. It's a very fun show. The most fun show on the network, by far. The most fun show. So if you want fun, go to Friday night. That's not a dig at anybody in this network. We just not. If you want nonsense, go to Friday night. Bo Nix, his fantasy points per game was 14.5. Is 14.5 this season. Was 19.4 last season. He has fallen off a little bit, but Cortland Sutton is not getting affected by this at all. His yards per attempt are up. Yards per catch are up 14.2 from 13.3. He's averaging 7 targets a game. Cortland Sutton is not being affected at all by the Bo Nix bump, by the Bo Nix struggles this season. Cortland Sutton's actually doing better this year than he was last year, so don't be afraid of him. Fire him up against the Bengals 1,000%. The running backs on the Broncos, it's J.K. Dobbins. Don't expect a superstar game from him. Just expect a good old 12 to 15-point game, which is good. Just don't expect a bunch from him. And are we ever going to see R.J. Harvey become what you guys thought he was going to be? I'm sorry for that. No disrespect to you guys. But is R.J. Harvey ever going to be the person the Broncos wanted him to be when they drafted him? That's another wait and see. I don't think we're going to see it tonight. On the Bengals side of things, Chase Brown. Gotta take a drink. Because Chase Brown makes my head hurt. He was drafted in the second round or third round in all of your drafts, and he's just averaging 2 yards per carry. That's historically bad for him, for the organization. It's a bad look. We need to see something going against Denver. Jonathan Taylor and others have done it. I'm not saying Chase Brown is Jonathan Taylor, but what I'm saying is it's got to be better than 2.0 yards per carry. That offensive line is one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. Get this man in space, create some screens, get creative, Mr. Taylor. I know it's difficult for you over there in Cincinnati. I understand it. You're not the most creative head coach in the world. You're up there with Dayball as probably bottom 3 of all time in the league. Just be better. Come on. Just runs up the middle with Chase Brown. It's not working out. Get him in space. Jamar Chase has been unstartable 2 of the 3 weeks he's played this year. If it wasn't for his week 2 36-point blow-up, we'd be talking about Chase. We'd be talking about Jamar Chase and what's going on with Jamar Chase. 2 games, and this is why I always had Justin Jefferson above Jamar Chase, and I don't understand why people don't understand this. Justin Jefferson doesn't give you what Jamar Chase has given you weeks 1 and week 3. Justin Jefferson will never do that. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football. And the people that were drafting Jamar Chase above him, I get why you were doing it, but this is what you're going to get with Jamar Chase from time to time. This is my biggest argument for the past 3 years on Jamar Chase. Yes, he will give you the 36-point games. He will also give you the 9, 8, and 7-point games, whereas people like Justin Jefferson never do. Is this going to be a big blow-up game for Chase tonight or a bottom game for Chase tonight? It all depends on Jacob Browning. Jacob Browning has 5 interceptions coming into tonight in just 2 games. Just 1 full game and 1 portion game. 1 game that was maybe 3 quarters. So 5 interceptions in less than 2 games is not ideal for your starting quarterback. I want to see if he can get the ball down to Jamar Chase. He definitely did week 2 against New England, but this is Denver. This isn't New England. New England can be had. We've seen them get had. Tyreek even had 100 yards on New England. Tyreek had it. Come on, Tyreek sucks. Jamar Chase, I need to see something tonight. And T. Higgins, if I had a piece of spaghetti, I would throw it against the wall. That's how I do my T. Higgins start sits. If the spaghetti sticks, I start him. If it falls down, I bench him. Because you can't tell with T. Higgins. You just can't. I've quit T. Higgins a long time ago, but he is someone that could give you a nice 20-point game. But again, follow the quarterback. Is Jacob Browning going to be that quarterback for you, for the Bengals? Well, we've seen 2 games of him so far, and 5 interceptions can tell you no, it's not going to be that quarterback. All right, guys, that is the show. I went a little bit long-winded. I'm sorry about that. I'll do better next time, as Jamie let me know. He hit the thumbs down to let me know to be better next time. And I will, Jamie. I really appreciate that. But all seriousness, likes do help the show. It's a free way of helping out the network. It's a free way of helping out the show. Likes will get our show to more people. More people will watch me and go, wow, that Josh guy, he's real pompous. And he says a lot of stuff. But does any of it mean anything? And I'll tell you this, yes, it does. Eventually, I say a lot of words, and at least 1 or 2 of my words hit. So I'm on a pretty good 10% hit rate here. So make sure you follow us, FantasyNowPlus.com, everywhere. That's where our rankings are, articles. Pudge puts out his weekly IDP article. Justin puts out his waiver article. So make sure you go to our Fantasy Now Plus website over there. Make sure you follow us on socials, Fantasy Now Plus everywhere. Fins Talk Sports Network. That's where you get your Miami Dolphins coverage for the live pre-show and post-show I believe they're going to have tonight. So if you're a Dolphins fan and you want the best Dolphins pre- and post-show, stick over here to the Fins Talk Sports Network. But until then, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope all your fantasy teams do well. I hope all your players play tonight and win. I hope Breece Hall scores 50 freaking points tonight, and I hope the Dolphins win. Fins up, guys. See you next week. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.